Bizarre Brain Comics. Oh, hello, my comic book friends, and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I am Gary, your host. And this is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and examine the stories and the art. And here we are, finally, past Halloween. And no more Spooktober, so want to go with something a little lighter for a little bit of fun and nostalgia. Yeah. But before we do that, I want to remind you, I've got two books out there. This is Bizarre Brain Comics Anthology and Bizarre Brain Comics Presents Heroes. The first is some humor and a little bit of adventure, like that. And the second is more mainstream with some superheroes and a little adventure and a little bit of horror thrown in. And even got a Western story. So those are both available, $7.99 each, online at Amazon, Barnes & Noble online store, and other online outlets. So thank you all who have already gotten your copies. Now, here we have Golden Comics Digest featuring Tom and Jerry. This is number 25 from 1972. And Tom and Jerry are an animated, for those who don't know, are an animated comedy series of short films created by William Hanna and Joseph Barbera in 1940 for MGM Studios. The original theatrical version was featured in 161 cartoons. There have been 5 TV series, initially running the theatrical shorts and later utilizing newly produced episodes for the shows. In 1992, that saw the release of the first Tom and Jerry full-length feature film, and later there were 13 direct-to-video films. In 2021, there was a hybrid live-action animation film that was released. See, and the Tom and Jerry comic books started in 1942 in Dell's Our Gang Comics, which was later retitled to Tom and Jerry. And it ran for 212 issues before the Dell Gold Key split. And then it ran on at Gold Key until 1984, ending with issue 344. So this 72, it had been around for, the comics had been around for like 30 years. They had a lot of stuff to draw on. Of course, it's all reprint material, but it's not all Tom and Jerry. In fact, most of it probably isn't, or at least half of it is not Tom and Jerry. Let's see. This is in the same vein as their Disney stuff. And unfortunately, this is the only Tom and Jerry comic book I've got of any type. It also featured a bunch of other cartoon characters, some original, some MGM, and it's some fun nostalgic reading or some fun stuff for kids. It is fun stuff, and it had some really nice art. Now, of course, if you're familiar with the cartoons, you know that it's almost all pantomime with sound effects, of course. But there's no dialogue from these characters, with a very rare exception. But in the comics, they do talk all the time. You gotta write something, and you can't always convey stuff in the still drawings that you can't, like you can in animated. So you can see. And of course, it does have at least one character that, as far as I know, is Warner Brothers, rather than, see. So they here in this reprint, they mixed things up a bit, but they definitely stayed away from anything Disney. And they didn't mix the Hanna-Barbera characters with MGM here, even though Hanna-Barbera created Tom and Jerry. It was an MGM property, and it was later when they had their own studio that Hanna-Barbera created all those cartoons and characters that we know and love, such as the Flintstones and Top Cat, etc. So, take a look at just a few stories. And this one here, we'll start off with Barney Bear. I don't know where he comes from, but this is cute, and I like it. I think he's probably an MGM character. And Barney Bear out in the woods, and he's setting up a hammock, and he's saying, well, just lay in this hammock and snooze for a while. Shouldn't have any problem because I'm a big brown bear, and most other critters are afraid of big brown bears because they think we can be mean and stuff. And I guess we probably can, but here comes this mama possum and her baby, and she's hanging on the limb right over him. Says, oh, shouldn't be any problem. But then the baby plops down on his belly, and he's a little irritated. Gives the baby back, and Mama said, "Oh, please don't hurt him, Mr. Bear. Please don't hurt him. So I won't hurt him here." And pretty soon plops down again. Oh, get back up there. And she gets him, and he's really getting annoyed. So he's got an idea. He takes a shoe, he nails it to the tree limb and puts the baby in the shoe. So he's got a little pouch so he can sleep in there. But then he plops down on him again. Now he's really getting irritated. And he thinks he was being attacked. And so I've got an idea. He goes and gets something, rigs up a little hammock for the baby, puts the baby in the hammock, and the baby promptly jumps out of the hammock and right back onto his belly. He says, I think I know what it is. He goes, gets something else, tosses it up into the little hammock with the baby. He says, he just thinks I'm a big teddy bear, which maybe I am. And he has a teddy bear, and there's the possum baby just snuggling with that teddy bear in the little hammock above him. And that was so cute. I just liked that one so much. That one was so cute. Then we have Droopy. So, as far as I know, Droopy was a Warner Brothers character. And but he wasn't one of the main Warner Brothers characters. Otherwise, they never would have mixed him up like that, if that is the case. And here Droopy is the dog, and go, hello, folks. I'm Droopy. You know that Droopy. And Droopy, he's lamenting how hot it is. The summer is so hot, and he's just sweating up a storm. And the mailman comes and brings him a letter, and it's from his cousin Scratchy, saying that it's much cooler up here in the mountains. Why don't you come for a visit for the summer? So he rushes to his master and shows him the letter, and he says, oh, you want to go? Well, if that's the case, that's fine, but you have to find a replacement for while you're gone as a watchdog. So he's going over, he brings this one goofy-looking dog. Nah, he's too big. He'll eat me out of house and home. And then he gets another one, it's a little chihuahua. And he's a little yappy dog. And so he gets one of the junkyard dogs, or actually down by the railroad tracks. And he acts real nice, and he takes his place, and Droopy starts heading for the hills. Then, but turns out the master has to be gone for a couple days, and just leaves the dog to guard the house. While the dog is planning on raiding the house. He pushes the doghouse over, opens a window, and says, "Hey, I'll go get some of my friends, and we'll have a good old time. We'll have a party." Meanwhile, Droopy's after he's left, he decides, "Oh, I need to go get a gift for cousin Scratchy." He rushes back home, gets a bone. He's going to give him a gift. He hears a hoo-ha in the house. He rushes and sees all the dogs raiding the refrigerator, making a big mess in the house. He gets in there and he confronts them, and they toss him out. But then the dog catcher is going by. He gets the dog catcher to chase him, and the dog catcher chases all the stray dogs out of the house. He's cleaning up the mess, and then how am I going to get all this done before the master gets home? Then his cousin shows up, said, "Oh, didn't you get my special delivery letter?" He said, "It's been so cold and rainy up there in the mountains, I decided to come down here where it's nice and warm." "Oh, there's the letter. I forgot to mail it." And so he comes in and says, "But I ain't a freeloader. I'll help." And so while Droopy is relaxing in the hammock, Scratchy is doing patrol around the yard, being a guard dog. Oh, that's cute. Then now finally we're going to get some Tom and Jerry. This is Mouse Musketeers. Remember when they did a few cartoons about the Tom and Jerry as musketeers and stuff? Well, this is one of those stories. Nighttime, Tom's going to go to bed, ready to sleep, and Jerry and the little Tuffy mouse, he's there. They're just irritated because he's snoring, so that's going to keep them up. So they're going to do something to irritate him. And they see this mockingbird. And every time they say something, the mockingbird responds in kind. And so, they got an idea. So they go get the mockingbird, put the mockingbird in his room, and he's yelling at the bird, and the bird answers back every time. So he tries to get the bird to leave. So then he decides he's just going to shut up, and then the bird will shut up. So they they throw a rock in there, banging his toe, and he screeches in pain, and then the bird follows suit. He kicks the bird out. The bird comes back, kicks him out, and so then but meanwhile, Tom and Jerry and Tuffy have fallen asleep, and he realizes he gets the bird to squawk and throws them in their room, and so they're awake. They've got the same problem. So finally, they get the bird to sing a lullaby, and the bird sings a lullaby, puts them to sleep. Tom says, "Oh, that sounds like a good idea," and he sings some more lullaby. The bird sings it back, and they're all sleeping together in the bed together. And that's just some cute fun. Other Tom and Jerry stories, and it's all good fun. Nice little nostalgia and stuff. And this is stuff you're not likely to see anymore. And there's no telling when all those stories were originally. I would bet they're probably from the 50s and 60s, and so it's been around for quite a while. And so I do want to thank you for joining me. Please like, share, subscribe. Do leave your comments down below. Do you like Tom and Jerry? We just happened to watch some Tom and Jerry the other day on Boomerang, and it was a lot of fun. Things we had not seen in decades, and all these are a lot of fun. Good for the little kids, and it's good for adults who like a little bit of a nostalgia from when they're kids. So thank you for joining me. And remember, comics are art.